There is nothing like a first ride back after holidays. We just got back from Wisconsin last night. We went to Oshkosh, which for those of you who are tuned out of the aviation industry, it is I think the world's largest air show aviation gathering on the planet. Thousands, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, tens of thousands of planes. Insane. We were there for 3 days and then just kind of toured around the Midwest for the rest of our trip. So I haven't rode in like 12, 13 days. It felt a little stiff at first. The ground is pretty hard right now. It'll definitely need to be worked. So we had to kind of work out some kinks this afternoon, but we ended on a good note, which I think is always a good thing. On that note, I had a clinician tell me that he doesn't believe in the end on a good note thing that everyone in the horse industry says. He's like, I don't believe in that. I don't know. I think it's important to end on a good note. So we ended on a good note. I'm excited to be back, but I was also very glad to just have the break, just kind of regroup and get back into the swing of things here with kind of a fresh mind and all that good stuff. So we will hopefully ride every day this week. The weather looks like it's going to be good, and kind of see what we can do. I've been watching Cheyenne, just ended yesterday, and that's been like my entire Instagram feed is Cheyenne barrel racing. So I am very excited to just get in the arena, get some things done, and see how much progress we can make. It is July 28th when I'm recording this, which is insane to me that we are at the end of July, but I'm excited to see what August will bring. Hopefully some good weather, some good riding, and all that good stuff. Okay, so I just got to the barn. I am going to go grab Mr. Diesel for a ride. I will just say though, I feel like I need to switch bits. So I pulled this book off my shelf. This was like the first barrel racing thing I ever bought back in the day. Charmaine James's Western Horseman barrel racing book. I was just going to flip through this because I know she does have a section on bits in here. I feel like I just need something to like get him rounded a bit more, elevate his shoulders, a bit more shoulder control. Because I've just been riding him in, I'll show you. I've just been riding him in a regular snaffle. And it's not quite what I need. I have a correction bit. It's in the house right now. And I was using that for reining, but I feel like that's more for like one-handed riding. I don't know if it's going to be suitable for barrel racing. I will be the first to say I am not an expert at all when it comes to bits. I very much need to educate myself on that. But she does have like some bit suggestions for barrel racing. So she does have the snaffle. She has a gag bit. She has a 3-piece jointed mouthpiece, which I kind of have that, but as just a 2-piece mouthpiece. An Argentine snaffle, that reminds me of a Tom Thumb bit. I don't really like that. A jointed mouthpiece with roller and shanks, a Hackamore, a whisper bit, and a high port curb, which I think I have one of those. I bought one of her bits back in the day. I had no business buying it. It is so dusty, but I bought this. It is disgustingly dusty. I bought this back in the day. I have no idea why I bought this bit. I put it in Junior's mouth probably once. So, great money spent there. When I was riding Junior, which I don't anymore, I would ride him in a Junior cow horse. So that's what the side looks like. And then I have bit guards on it. And then it's just like the same mouthpiece as my snaffle. I don't know. I don't know. I just know my snaffle is not quite what I need at this time. See, this is when like a coach or a trainer would come in handy. I don't really want to use, so I don't know if you can see. This is the gag bit. So the shank, like the mouthpiece slides on the shank. I think, at least back in the day, barrel racers were big into gag bits. I don't know if they still are. I'm sure there's trends in bits. Over the years, I don't know. We will ride in a snaffle again today. We will make it work. Okay, so as I said, we've got our plain old snaffle bit and just split reins. I know lots of barrel racers ride in a roping rein, but when you're just doing dry work, just patterning, training, I firmly believe you should be using split reins. 2 hands on the reins, managing your horse's body, all that stuff. You don't need to switch to a split rein until you're going at speed, riding with one hand at speed. And that is on a more experienced horse. We are just working on patterning Mr. Diesel, so we use split reins. I believe these ones are by Weaver. I'm pretty sure. I'm a big fan of Weaver leather products. They work good. Okay, let's head up to the arena. It's hot. For us, it is 25 degrees Celsius, which feels hot to us. But we'll get in 40-minute ride or so. See how it goes. I love you. I missed him so much while we were away. And on my way home from work today, there's an arena right straight south of the office. And every other Tuesday they have an ABRA jackpot. So I could like, with my window open at the office, I could hear horses whinnying this afternoon. And I was like, oh, I wish I was running there so bad. But this time next year, that might be a goal. But for right now, we just need to be content with just working on getting him patterned, get it solid, get my confidence where it needs to be, one step at a time. Before we left on holidays, so around mid-July, I sat down with myself and I laid out exactly what I want to achieve in the month of August as far as my goals go. And I have goals in a variety of categories. I have fitness goals, I have work goals, I have content creation goals, I have, what else is on there? All sorts of stuff. I think I had a handful of goals that I set, one of them being goals with Diesel. And the idea of starting to set them in the middle of July was that by the time we came back from vacation, I would have a few days to kind of get things set up so that by the time August 1st hit, I was completely set up and ready to like take off running in terms of trying to achieve my goals. So the goal with Diesel for the month of August is to be able to slow lope the barrel pattern. And when I say that, very literally just a nice slow lope, fast enough that he can maintain his body position going around the barrels, but not a run, right? So slow loping the barrels, breaking down to a simple lead change in between first and second, picking up that left lead, and then loping the remainder of the pattern. Sounds super easy, but if you're at all familiar with training, it does take some work, right? It takes some consistent work, and I don't want to rush the process. I don't want to put a bunch of pressure on myself. I don't want to put a bunch of pressure on Diesel. I want to enjoy what we're doing, but at the same time make some progress. So that's the goal for August. The way to achieve that is a lot of drills, a lot of slow work, a lot of dry work, not a lot of pattern work, ironically. So when I was tinkering with the barrels last year with Diesel, I think I did at some point start taking him around the full setup pattern. I have not done that at all this year. I have done a lot of 1 and 2 barrel drills, predominantly 1 barrel drill. My favorite one, I call it the Molly drill or the Molly barrel because I learned it from Molly Powell back in the day. You have 1 barrel, you go around that barrel, and then you just come out, you do a big circle, go around the barrel. So you're on the same lead the entire time, but you're just around the barrel, big circle, around the barrel, big circle. So your barrel is on the outside of that big circle. I love that drill. I could do that drill all day. So we've been doing lots of that. We've been doing some figure 8s, again, with just the simple lead change with 2 barrels, doing a figure 8. I also set up cones in the pull pattern just to kind of work on shoulder control because that's really important too. So the aim right now is not pattern work. I want to get just perfect when it comes to turning a single barrel. I want it perfect. I want his feet exactly where I need them. I want his body nice and up underneath him, using his hind end, which that's something we're struggling with right now, getting it perfect, because I want it perfect at these slow speeds so that when we step it up a notch and go faster, there is a tendency for things to break down a bit when you add speed. So we need to have this foundation at the slower speeds pretty darn near perfect before we're moving on to more funner, faster things. And part of me is like, that's not it. It's such a small goal, but it's an important goal, and I think it's a good one for us to work on. If we reach it before the end of August, great. But that's kind of where we're at right now. That is the goal, so we're gonna work on that. If you guys are interested in learning drills that I do, let me know in the comments. I'd be very happy to show you drills. I love barrel racing drills so much. I have a good chunk of them in my back pocket that I rotate through every now and then. If you have drills that you can share, please do. I'm always looking for new and exciting things. So that's kind of where we're at. Wind is starting to pick up, so I'm gonna make this short. As far as content creation goes, I feel like my vlogs have been very much contained to this building and my arena. I'm thinking about expanding that. There is a lot more to this ranch than my barn and the arena. And I'm curious if you guys want to see more of an all-encompassing ranch life kind of situation. There's always stuff going on here. If you would be interested in seeing that kind of stuff, please let me know in the comments. If you want me to just stick to my barn and my arena, then so be it, but please let me know. This comes out on Friday, assuming I can get my editing done in time. Also, what comes out on Fridays, I think, is what my schedule is. I'm so out of whack with all my content stuff. Is my podcast. If you are not aware, I have a podcast also called Strong in the Saddle. It's all about more like equestrian, horse person, wellness, personal development kind of stuff. So be sure to check that out wherever you listen to podcasts. And until next time, remember, it's always a good day to ride.